Hello student, welcome to English class. Today I will be discussing about childhood. That is your unit 5 section number 1. Childhood. I am not going to talk about my childhood. Okay, let me give some intro. Some hints. Let me give some hints that whether you can find out about whose childhood today I am going to speak. Okay, so he was a very nationalist. He was a nationalist. He was atheist, and he is also called as father of our nation. I hope you got it by the name itself, the father of our nation. Yes, it is all about M.K. Gandhi, that is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So today I am going to discuss about Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi's childhood. So let me give a brief intro about Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Already I said he was a nationalist, he was an atheist, birth. So his birthplace is Porbandar, which is located in Gujarat. Okay, and 2nd October we celebrate as the Gandhi Jayanti, right? 2nd October 1869. And he was assassinated on 30th January 1948 by Nathuram Vinayak Godse. So now let us go into the chapter and see about his childhood. Okay, how fascinating was about his childhood. Okay, how interesting his childhood. So I must have been about 7 when my father left Porbandar for Rajkot to become a member of Rajasthani court. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi was about 7 years old. Okay, when his father left Porbandar to go Rajkot. Okay, his father wanted to go to Rajkot, so he left the Porbandar, and his father wanted to become a member of Rajasthani court. There I was put into a primary school, and I can well recollect those days, including the names and the other particulars of teachers who taught me. So there he was put into a primary schools. Okay, so he can recollect all the memories of his school. Okay, who can recollect? Mahatma Gandhi. We are talking about Gandhiji. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi, M.K. Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Okay, his full name is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. In short, we say it as M.K. Gandhi. So he can recollect all his primary school memories. Okay, everything what he did in his childhood, what naughtiness, what interesting, what fascinating, all these things he can recollect. Okay, so as at Porbandar, so here there is hardly anything to note about my studies. I could only have been a mediocre student. Okay, so he was not an brilliant student, he is a mediocre student. Mediocre student means average students, not so brilliant student and not so poor student. Okay, he is an average student. Okay, he can learn, he can write, he gives the test. Okay, not like he doesn't come under the brilliant category, he comes in the middle category, average students. Okay, I could only have been a mediocre student. From this school I went to the suburban school and thence to the high school. So after primary school, okay, he went to the suburban school. and next high school. Of course, we are level of schools, we are reading after we read in a primary schools, after that we go to the high schools, then higher secondary schools, like step by step he is stepping forward towards his school lives. Okay, having already reached my 12th year, so at the high school he already reached at the 12th year. Okay, I do not remember having ever told a lie during this short period, either to my teachers or to my schoolmates. Okay, so during his lifetime, during his that schooling life, everything, we are talking about the childhood, that's why I am telling about the school lives. Okay, so during his school lives, he never remembered that he told a lie to anybody, to his schoolmates, to his parents, to his teachers, to his friends, anybody. He never told lie to anybody. Okay, I used to be very shy and avoided all company. My books and my lessons were my sole companions. Yes, as I already told you, he never said any lies, and he was a very shy boy. Okay, his books and his lessons were the only companions. Okay, he used to be busy, he remains busy with his books and the lessons. He never used to talk with anybody, as usually you students talk, no, whenever the teachers goes out, you speak, no, you gossip, lots of gossipings you do, right? So he was not like that kind of boy. Okay, he was very shy and he used to be busy with all his lesson works, all his lessons, all his books and all his works which were given at school. Okay, to be at school at the stroke of the hour and to run back home as soon as the school closed, that was my daily habit. So at the sharp time when the school begins, stroke of the hour, at this particular timely, okay, at a particular time, he arrives at school, and after completing the school hours, he directly goes to home. Okay, so he never goes anywhere, he never gossips with the friends, he never goes with the friends for the roaming after the school. Okay, he directly goes to his home after completing his school hours. I literally ran back because I could not bear to talk to anybody. I was even afraid lest someone should poke fun at me. Yes, he had a inner fear. Okay, he had an inner fear that if he stays at the school after school hours, if he talks with his friends, if he talks with his classmates, okay, so anybody could make a fun of him. Okay, that's his biggest fear he had. That's why, that is the reason, after completing his school hours, immediately he ran back to home. There is an incident which occurred at examination during my first year at the high school and which is worth recording. So here also Mahatma Gandhi says that he had some incidents which occurred. Okay, one incident which is very remarkable and which is which he recollected. Okay, so he said that at his first year of high school, that is first year of high school, he remembered one incident happened. Okay, that is quite quite recording, quite memorable. Okay, let us see what is the incident which had happened with Mahatma Gandhi. So Mr. Gills, the educational inspector, had come on a visit of inspection. So the name of an educational inspector was Mr. Gills. He had come for a visit to Mahatma Gandhi's school. Okay, he had set us 5 words to write a spelling exercise. One of the word was kettle. I had misspelled it. The teacher tried to prompt me with the point of his boot, but I would not be prompted. It was beyond me to see that he wanted me to copy the spelling from my neighbor's notebook. Okay, Mr. Gills, who was an educational inspector who came to Mahatma Gandhi school for the inspection, and he kept one test, okay, test for the first year students. Okay, he kept 5 spellings, okay, five spellings to write. He gave five words to write them, okay. So in that 5 words, one of the word is kettle. So Mahatma Gandhi wrote the misspelled, Mahatma Gandhi misspelled the spelling of kettle, okay. By seeing this, who was invigilator at that time in his classroom, so he prompted him, he nudged him, okay, he prompted him and said, prompted with the by making aware, okay, prompted means making aware. So he started to, the teacher started to prompt Mahatma Gandhi for copying the kettle, okay, from others' notebook, from the neighbor's notebook. Like usually you students do, no, whenever you don't know something, no, you get your neighbors, you do get your friends, no, show me what is the spelling of that, what is the answer of that, you ask, no, like that, okay. So the teacher wanted Mahatma Gandhi to do it, okay, but he never copied it, okay. Mahatma Gandhi had never copied it. It was beyond me to see that he wanted to copy the spelling from my neighbor's notebook, for I had thought that the teacher was there to supervise us against copying. The result was that all the boys except myself were found to have spelled every word correctly, okay. So he never copied, whatever he wrote, okay, by himself, whatever he knows he wrote, okay, and he thought the teacher was supervising, okay, the teacher was supervising whether they are writing or not, but he didn't understand the teacher was telling him to copy from the other's note, okay. Were found to have spelled every word correctly. Only I had been stupid. The teacher tried later to bring this stupidity home to me, but without effect I never could learn the art of copying. Okay, so here the teacher Mahatma Gandhi had never learned the art of copying, how to copy, how to tell lies, okay. So after the after the many attempts of prompt by the supervisor. Yet the incident did not in the least diminish my respect for my teacher. I was by my nature blind to the faults of elders. Later I came to know of many other failings of this teacher. So this incident, the incident which had happened with Mahatma Gandhi, the supervisor told him, the invigilator prompted, okay, prompted him to copy from the others' copy. This incident did not diminish respect for his teachers, okay, he still had the same respect for his teacher. So after knowing the teacher wanted him to copy the spelling from the other's notebook, after knowing that also, Mahatma Gandhi's respect for that teacher have never vanished, never dismissed, or never became less, okay, less. So after knowing all the faults of that particular teacher, okay. But my regards for him remained the same, for I had learned to carry out the orders of elders, not to scan their actions. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi's nature was that he had to follow the orders of elders, not to count their actions and not to count their mistakes, okay, not to scan, not to count, okay. So not to find out the elders' mistakes. He had, after this incident, yes, of course, after the incident what had happened, what I told you, after that also Mahatma Gandhi had the full respect for that particular teacher and he never scanned the mistakes of the elders, okay. He had always followed the orders of the elders. Two other incidents belonging to the same period have always clung to my memory. So other two incidents also which was clung to his memories, okay. So as a rule I had a distaste for any reading beyond my schools. As I told you, Mahatma Gandhi was not a brilliant student, okay. He never wanted to read his extra books, okay, extra books. He never wanted to read the extra books. He don't like, he disliked to read the, he had the distaste and dislike to read the extra books, okay, beyond his school books, okay. Only whatever the school books he is having, that only he used to read, okay, not the extra books. He don't like to read the extra books, okay. The daily lessons had to be done because I disliked being taken to task by my teacher as much as I disliked receiving them. Therefore, I would do the lessons but often without my mind in them. So he used to do his homeworks. You also get the homeworks from your teachers, no? After completing a chapter, after completing a lesson, you get the homeworks to do. Your teacher asks you to do the homework, okay? Do this one so that the teacher can, identify how far you have learned. Homework is about how far you have understood, okay. The teacher should know how far you have understood and what you got from that, what idea you got from that chapter. The same way the Mahatma Gandhi used to, as he don't like to read the other books, he just without his mind, like simply, yeah, I want to do this chapter, it is a homework, that's why I am doing. Not so interesting, or interestingly he wanted to do all these things, okay. Because he is a very mediocre student, he is not a brilliant student. He was not a brilliant student, okay. Therefore, I would do the lessons but often without my mind in them. Thus, when even the lessons could not be done properly, there was of course no question of any extra reading. But somehow my eyes fell on a book purchased by my father. It was Shravana Pitri Bhakti Nataka, a play about Shravana's devotion to his parents. So he don't like to read. Mahatma Gandhi never liked to read the extra book. So one day what happened? Suddenly his eyes fall on a book. The name of the book is Shravana Pitri Bhakti Nataka. Okay. So that book was so attractive that Mahatma Gandhi's attraction went towards that book, okay. After seeing that book, it was a devotion to his parents. So that book is all about the devotion, all the dedications, all the devotions about the parents, how Shravana devoted his life towards his parents, okay, how he helped his parents, okay, his blind parents, okay. All about all these things are inside that book, okay. All this reveals in that book. I read it with intense interest. There came to our place about the same time itinerant showman. One of the picture I was shown was of Shravana carrying by means of slings his blind parents on a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a sacred place, those who travel to the sacred place, okay, like you can say temple, mosque, sacred place, a pure place, okay, that is a traveling called pilgrimage, okay. So in that book it is described that Shravana, how Shravana slings, okay, how Shravana carries his parents towards the sacred place, towards the pilgrimage, okay. So all this are about all this about the Shravanas, okay. The book and the picture left an indelible, that is indelible impressions on my mind. Indelible means not erasable, a permanent memory. That book, after reading that book, Mahatma Gandhi got so interested about that how Shravana was very much devoted to her towards his parents, okay. So how he took his parents, took his blind parents to the pilgrimage, okay. That was a not erasable memory for the Mahatma Gandhi. So he got very much interested by reading that book. Here is an example for you to copy. I said to myself, the agonized lament of the parents of Shravana's death is still fresh in my memory. The melting tune moved me deeply and I played it on a concertina which my father had purchased for me. A musical instrument. Concertina is said to be a musical instrument. Okay, so he was very much interested in that particular book, and the name of the book was, what is the name of the book? It is Shravana's Pitribhakti Nataka. Okay, where the Shravana carries his blind parents towards the pilgrimage, towards the sacred place. Okay. There was a similar incident connected with another play. Just about this time, I had secured my father's permission to see a play performed by a certain dramatic company. So this was, he was very much interested with the Shravana Pitribhakti Nataka. So after that, another incident happened, similar incident. Okay, so he got permission from his father. Okay, he took permission from his father to see a play with companion, with his classmates, or maybe with his companions, with his maybe friends. Okay, so with his companion he wanted to see another play. Okay, so he wanted to see a play which also became a very memorable incident for him. So let us see what about that play. This play was Harishchandra, captured my heart. I could never be tired of seeing it, but how often should I be permitted to go? I haunted me, and I must have acted Harishchandra to myself times without numbers. Why should not all the truthful like Harishchandra? So the second drama was Harishchandra. I already told you that he got a permission, he took a permission to see a drama. That drama is Harishchandra. After seeing that Harishchandra drama, he became so much influenced in that, so much he got such an interest in that, he started to see that Harishchandra drama again and again. He wanted to see, but how long he will watch the Harishchandra drama for again and again. So he started to act himself like a Harishchandra, and he was thinking that why every people can't be like a Harishchandra. Yes, of course you all know about the Harishchandra, the truthful person who speaks always the truth. Okay, so he thinks at that time that why all the people can't be like a Harishchandra. Was the question I asked myself day and night. To follow truth and to go through all the ordeals Harishchandra went through was the one ideal it inspired in me. I literally believed in the story of Harishchandra. The thought of it all often made me weep. My common sense tells me today that Harishchandra could not have been a historical character. So much he was, Mahatma Gandhi, so much influenced in that drama, Harishchandra drama. He thought that why all the people can't be like a Harishchandra. Okay, so why? So he completely believed in the Harishchandra drama, and he started to think that why Harishchandra could not have been in a historical character. Okay, he was not an historical character. Still, both Harishchandra and Shravana are living realities for me. So he started to think that Harishchandra and Shravana were living realities. Okay, he never thought that was a historical story he is watching, or he is reading the historical stories. He started to think that it is happening in the present day itself. Okay, present day itself it is happening, and he started to think that it is a living character, not the historical characters. And I am sure I should be moved as before if I were to read those plays again today. So he was such much interested in that two particular dramas, two particular incidents, that he started to think that all the incidents happened in presence itself. They are not the, they are in the reality. He started to mix the character with the realities, okay, that the characters were not the what, not the historical characters. That much Mahatma Gandhi got fascinated and got interest about all these things. So moral of the story is, moral of this childhood is that Mahatma Gandhi never lied in his throughout the life, okay. So throughout the life he never lied. He was even he got the chance to copy from the others book, but he never copied the spelling from the others book. And the two fascinating characters which played a very vital role in his future life, okay, that is Harishchandra and Shravana Pitri Bhakti Nataka. These are the two fascinating, two interesting incidents which had happened in the Mahatma Gandhi's childhood, okay. So if you have any queries, any doubts regarding a chapter, so please comment on the comment box. Surely I will clarify. Thank you so much.